Like a voice crying out in the wilderness, so it is within all of your bellies. But do not hunger for the things of this world.
Wait, then what should we be hungry for?
You should be hungry for the things above.
Wait, like birds? Like we should be hungry for birds?
No! You should be hungry for the things of the Lord.
Well, where's his food line at? Sounds better than the food we're getting here.
Listen, there's someone coming who is so much cooler than I am that I am not even fit to dish up his plate.
Wow, really?
Well, I would, but his shoes. I wouldn't tie those.
Is that because he can tie his own shoes?
Yes, that's partially true. Look, okay, he's my cousin.
Okay, so your cousin, you wouldn't be able to dish up his plate or tie his shoes.
It's true.
But wait, what does any of this have to do with the Lord's birds bringing us better food?
My cousin Jesus is coming to unite the whole world into relationship with the Lord. Some say that he will even carry the government on his shoulders.
Whoa, you mean like be the president?
I guess. Haven't really thought about it like that. But I do know this. He's destined for greatness.
Wow, your cousin, the president of the United States. That is one major hookup, man. What are you gonna ask him for, like a bed in the big white house or something?
Oh, no, I'm sure if he was ever in that position, he would just tear the whole system down.
Whoa, gotta be careful with that kind of talk, Johnny B. People have been arrested for less. When's all this supposed to happen anyways?
I don't know. But if the president theory is correct, we're only a few years away from election season. We'll see. Actually, he's on his way back from one of his spiritual walkabouts. He's a bit of a hippie.
You're one to talk.
True!
Excuse me, who's in charge here?
That would be me.
May I see your permit, please?
Why? We've been doing this the last 10 years. The city's never had an issue.
Show me your permit,
Again,
please.
I ask you, why?
Sir, why are you not complying?
Why are you not complying? I asked you, why do I need a permit?
I will ask you one last time. Do you have or not a federal permit?
No, I don't have a federal permit. I've never needed one.
Arrest him now.
What? Are you serious? All I'm trying to do is help people.
Listen up, guys. This is your warning to leave the park now, or I will arrest you.
Oh,
Hey,
come on.
what are you guys doing?
Beat it, kid.
All right, everybody, it's gonna be all right. We're gonna figure it out.
Hey, man, you look lost.
Yeah, I'm looking for my cousin, John.
John. You mean Johnny B? You look just like him.
Yeah, that'd be the one.
Wait, are you the next president? It is you. Johnny B told us about you, the next president of the United States.
I don't know about that. I was just looking for my cousin, John.
Oh, sorry, man. He just got arrested.
Arrested?
Yeah, man. He's been coming down here for years, giving us food and encouraging words. But then the feds just came out of nowhere, man, saying, hey, you need a permit. And he was like, I don't have no permit. I don't even need one. And they were like, they don't care. I don't care. They just took him. They just took him anyways.
Wow.
Sorry, man. We did all we could, but some of us are on parole, so
Yeah, I'm sure you did all you could.
Well, what are you going to do now? I mean, are you going to try and get him out of jail?
What do you think I can do?
Well, I mean, Johnny B was always telling us that you were going to, like, lead us into a new way of thinking, or, like, be, like, a new form of government. We always thought he meant you were going to be, like, the next president or something.
Well, I don't know about being president, but I would like to see people come into a new way of thinking. Hey, you wouldn't happen to know anybody that was helping Johnny B's ministry, would you?
Well, there's Peter. He was the one who oversaw, like, the warehouse and the administrative type stuffs.
Okay.
He actually lives just right around the corner, I think. He'd probably know about anyone else you'd be looking for in this general area.
All right, well, thank you.
Sure thing. I hope I see you again. And if you see Johnny B, tell him this guy said hi.
I will. I'll say, that guy said hi.
Thanks.
Oh, hi. I'm looking for Peter.
Yeah, who's asking you? Some kind of Fed or something? Look, I already answered the other guy's questions. I don't have time for this.
No, my name's Jesus.
Okay.
I'm Jesus.
Yeah, you said that. Am I supposed to know that name?
Yeah. Okay, sorry. I just thought maybe my cousin would have mentioned me.
Oh, I see. Look, there's no food here. The warehouse is closed. I think there's some hippie commie up the road, Morning Star or something. They could help you.
No, I'm not in any need. Actually, I just found out about my cousin John's imprisonment, and I heard that you oversaw his warehouse, the warehouse for Johnny B's ministry.
I do. I did it.
Yeah.
Wait, you're his cousin, the next president?
I guess that's what everybody's saying.
Well, yeah, John always said one would come after him who had the government on his shoulders or some crazy crap like that. I don't know. Honestly, I would space out sometimes. I think the guy was eating too many bugs or something.
Sounds like it.
But I loved your cousin.
Well, so you think that I'm going to be president?
Well, yeah.
Okay, well.
That's what John said.
Yeah. To be honest, I never really thought about that when my heavenly father was telling me about my future.
Oh, you must be his cousin. You talk all kinds of crazy just like him. But I did love your cousin. I would have fought every one of those feds if I'd been there.
Well, that's what I want to talk to you about. I was wondering if maybe you would follow me like you did with my cousin. I want to finish what he started.
Well, sure, I'm in. I mean, got to find something to do since the warehouse is closed until John gets released.
Awesome. So, do you know anybody else who'd be willing to join us?
Well, I know a few people. You should follow John and a couple others that might be your kind of people.
Hey, all right, perfect. But, nope. High five.
Cool. All right.
Hey, Jesus, people are saying that you're Johnny B's doppelganger, or that you're like some kind of superhero.
Okay.
We've been following you for over a year now. You have not only helped the poor and needy.
Yeah, the widows and the orphans.
But you've also healed people, cleansed cancer, and done some out there crazy supernatural stuff.
Yeah, coming straight out of Fringe.
More like the Flash or Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay, guys.
Yeah, straight meta-human.
Okay, guys. These aren't some superpowers that were given to me through a chemical spill or a particle accelerator explosion. These are gifts. You guys have known a long time how to do good through works, but there are other ways to encourage people's lives.
Well, we've seen it. I mean, there's no better encouragement than getting to walk again.
It's true, we should love one another how God loves us, but there are also moments where God chooses to love us directly, where he shows us his amazing love for us.
So you're saying it's not us, but God through us to encounter people with his love?
Yes, Peter. You've all freely received this gift, so you're free to give it out. It might look different from person to person, but the encounter is the same. That's why I'm here.
Wait, I thought you were here to be the next president.
First and foremost, we must love. Now, go. Freely receive and freely give. I'm gonna get a latte.
Excuse me. Excuse me, please. Anything can help. I got kids, man.
Can't you work?
Peter.
That's a fair question.
Come on. I was in a car accident, all right? I didn't have money for good insurance, and I got all these hospital bills and no job to pay for them. And my wife took the kids and left. I just pray every single day I could find a way to get back to them, you know.
Not really sure what to do right now.
Just, I don't know, freely receive and freely give. Yeah, okay. Here, just rise and watch.
Oh my goodness.
There you go.
How did you... Thank you.
No, it's not I who healed you, it's God who healed you. He wants to encounter you and your family with his love.
What's going on here?
Well, this guy, he couldn't walk, and now he can.
Who did this?
These men did.
Well, no, it was God. He wants to encounter everyone with his love.
You guys have a permit to minister here in the streets?
A permit?
We need a federal document to love people?
Just ask
Are you
a question.
kidding me right
If
now?
you guys don't have a permit, I will arrest you.
How do you even get a permit for someone?
Please.
Why do we need a permit? I've never had a permit before.
What a crazy person. I wish I would lock them all up and get them off the streets.
Man, I wish there was something we could do for her.
What if there is? Freely receive, freely give, right? I believe God loves this woman enough to free her from her crazy.
I mean, I guess.
Excuse me, miss. We would like to pray for you.
What the heck?
Hey. It's time for you to leave. Let this girl go. Hey. You're free now. Now go on and don't sin anymore, okay? Your Father in heaven, he loves you. Come here. You're welcome.
Jeez, how'd you do that? She threw me on the ground.
Because I don't walk in a defensive mindset. I walk with the offensive. No weapon formed against you guys will prosper, but you have to push out doubt and unbelief.
Okay, Jesus, but how would we do that?
Through fasting and prayer.
What is going on here?
This woman was sick, but now she is well.
Yeah.
Who here has a federal medical license?
You guys?
None of us.
Then I need all of you to step over here slowly.
Why? What did we do?
Offering medical treatment without a federal license.
But we didn't even do anything medical. Jesus just healed that woman.
Oh, since when did you become a licensed physician to diagnose her healed?
Well, never, but you should have seen her before. She was crazy. I am Legion and stuff. Now she's fine.
It's true.
Enough. All of you step over here, hands where I can see them. Do it now, like your life depended on it, slowly.
Hey, how's your son doing?
What did you just say?
Your son, Joseph, he's probably 12 now, right?
And how did you know that?
He is well. Your Father in heaven, he showed me how much he loves you and your son, and he is now well.
Is this some kind of sick joke? Because it's not funny. And if anything happens to my son, I'll make it my personal mission in life to bury you under federal criminal charges.
No, it's nothing like that. Your Father just loves you.
That's it. Radio for cover units 4 and 5. All of these men are going in as uncooperative.
Wait, can you call home and just see if he is okay?
Yeah. Might be worth a shot.
Hi, love. Yes, everything's fine. I'm just calling to check on Joe and you. What? Wait. Slow down. Yes. That's amazing. Yes. That is a miracle from... Honey, I've got to go now. I love you, babe. Bye, sweetheart.
See?
I have many loyal federal officers under my command. When I tell them to go, they go.
Yeah.
When I tell them to stay, they stay. But you just spoke your word and my son is healed.
Yeah.
Thank you. Cancel those cover units. Nothing wrong is going on here tonight. All of you men, you're welcome to go in peace.
Thank you.
All right, settle down, settle down. We know these are emotional times, but we have to come together and form a plan that works.
We have stories coming in from all the cities we've visited. Love is being poured out, and the miracles are happening.
But the feds are shutting down the places to the people who are ministering without permits.
Yeah, what's gonna happen? What were we supposed to do? Should we have just left those people alone?
Well, shut it, Thomas. You and your doubting spirit have got to go. We know these are hard times, but we have to stand strong.
Stand strong. We are, to no avail.
People are seeking out Jesus' words of wisdom. They want to feel the love from the stories they hear. Thousands of people are on Twitter and Facebook talking about that very thing.
So our answer is a Facebook page?
Well, not exactly, but we need to interact with the people. They want the message.
Dude, I can't stand to be a part of another religious organization on Instagram posting their sermons about the feel-goods, while there's actually people out there suffering.
Exactly. My life is so hard because my favorite tofu place closed while the homeless perish.
The homeless?
Yeah.
Come on, Peter.
Not all of them are there because of their decisions. Some are there because their factories closed and they can't afford to live in the city or to leave it.
We have such a high standard of living in this country. Another reason people need to hear Jesus' message. I don't want to do a podcast, but all I keep hearing is complaining and no new ideas.
Well, hey, I have an idea.
And what did I say about your doubting spirit, Thomas? We can do this. We can form a plan that works.
I feel like I have.
Maybe we get more aggressive. We have lots of food trucks and prayer spots all over the cities. The feds can't go to all of those places.
Or maybe we should just ask Jesus.
Again, Thomas, please be quiet.
Peter,
You are never...
Peter, just calm down, all right? Maybe Thomas is right. We've been trying to come up with a plan for the man that's in the room with us.
Jesus, can you please share with us?
Yeah. Well, here's what I don't want to do. I don't want to go out there like a bunch of hypocrites trying to entice people with fancy words.
Here we go with the riddles.
Gimmicks don't bring a lasting change. True heart transformation with true discipleship, that's what's going to help people. And that's what I've been trying to do with all of you guys. As short as our time here is together, I hope that by the end of it, you'll learn not to trust in your own understanding, but seek first my Father's kingdom. Then everything else is going to be added to you guys.
Okay, Jesus, but how do we apply this to the now?
Yeah, we love what you're saying. We think it's great and all, but what's the plan?
Jesus, didn't Johnny B say that you were going to lead us into a new way of thinking or a new form of government? Maybe even become the next president, right?
Yeah, who's going to elect a hippie?
Wait, no, wait, that's it.
No offense.
Okay.
What's it?
Jesus becoming president.
What?
No, seriously, okay, think about it. We're trending nationally. We have live videos on Facebook and the Periscope showing our miraculous works we've done. Remember last week we were in that building, there were so many people they deemed it a fire hazard.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yes, life could bring everlasting change through this issue.
I don't know. I guess it's better than doing something great and watching the feds take it away.
I think this has sounded like a pretty good idea. It's a more aggressive approach to the powers that be.
Did we just come up with an awesome plan?
I guess we did.
I've been listening to this discussion for far too long, and I think that you are all missing the point.
Oh, what is the point, oh John the Beloved?
Yeah, you can make fun of me all you want, Peter. I know that Johnny B started this whole ministry, but Jesus is here to finish it. And to finish it, it has to look different. It's not pushing our agenda against theirs. It's about relationship. That is what he has taught to us, and that is what we must in turn teach to others.
Yeah, right, not the lovey-dovey. We need to take action.
We are.
But what about when we give and then the feds take away?
Was love shown?
Yes.
Well, then we have done our jobs.
And when love is shown, that's when true change can take place.
But we want to see change.
Jesus, your followers, the thousands all over, they'll get on board. Just give it a chance.
Yeah, I think this might work.
What?
Well, if Thomas thinks it'll work, it's a shoo-in, right?
I don't think this is going to turn out how you guys think it will. But it looks like it's the path that's in front of me. Just know this. Before it's all over, there's going to have to be a huge sacrifice.
Well, don't worry, Jesus. I'll be your security detail. It'll be smooth sailing.
Peter, your mind does not show the likeness and nature of my Father, but of man. Listen, you guys. Any of you wanting to follow me into this, you're going to have to learn how to deny yourself. Anyone trying to save their life, they're going to lose it. But if you lose your life, you will find me. Some of you here won't even taste death.
More hippie talk.
I would like to welcome to the stage the next President of the United States, Jesus.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for coming. This isn't what I had planned when I first began my ministry, but I'm happy to know that I've grown in favor with you and with my Father. So I promise you that this will be a campaign unlike any other you've ever seen before. My Father, he takes care of the birds of the air and the lilies of the field. So how much more is he going to take care of us? This is why we won't be asking for any donations, nor will we accept any. Do we agree to that?
Yeah, no, we didn't agree to that.
Blessed are the humble, for theirs is the kingdom. And blessed are those who mourn, for you will be comforted. Blessed are the merciful, for you will be shown mercy. And blessed are those who are persecuted for doing what is right. We stand with you.
Did you write this speech?
Nope, you know how he likes to wing it.
These are the policies that we'll run our campaign by. We're not going to store up our treasures on earth. We're going to store them up in heaven. And we're not going to worry about tomorrow because that has enough problems as it is. I promise to you that I will love my Father with all of my heart, mind, soul, and strength. And I hope that you will do the same. So will you go on this journey with me? Yeah!
We are here live at this year's presidential debate. This year's campaigns have been full of controversy and scandal. With Senator Carver's harassment charges and Jesus' controversial views, it has put Governor Angela May as the frontrunner in the polls.
What's the emotion like there at the campus? This certainly has been one of the strangest presidential races.
And that is saying a lot, especially since we have 2016 in the history books now.
There's a lot of anticipation for this debate. It's predicted that the moderator will go after Senator Carver's past, Governor Angela May's views on women's rights, and of course, Jesus. Why is he even here? He is more off the book and different than anyone we have seen before. It was bad enough that Donald Trump wasn't a politician, but Jesus is a religious leader who won't take a dime for his campaign because, quote, his Father will provide.
Has that been working?
It has. He's been hitchhiking to almost every event. It seems that he has eaten at many strangers' homes, including prostitutes, drug dealers, and the like. But he has also had a meal with a man working for the IRS by the name of Zach Brown.
Has Jesus arrived at the debate yet?
He has not. The other two candidates have arrived, but no word on Jesus yet. He's known to show up just in time for these sorts of things. My sources tell me it really bothers the other two candidates.
Okay, we're hoping they lead with economics, but the reality of it is, with the senator's scandal and this off-the-book Jesus character, there are 100 different ways that this could go.
Look, Lucy, relax. Take a deep breath. It's gonna be okay. This is not my first debate. And honestly, we can use all of that drama to our advantage.
Right.
Because we're about the issues, not the drama. Okay? But look, there's a reason why I picked you to be my campaign manager. You're a strong woman, and you're going to be a role model to a lot of young girls. You can hold your own in a room full of men, and you're really smart. So there's that.
Well, thank you, ma'am. But let's go over your talking points now. These are the most important ones.
You idiot! I just want to know, A, his stance on Russian hackers, B, what his plan is, so C, I can counter it.
Yes, I know that, sir, but again, he has no stance.
You keep saying he has no stance. What about his stance on immigration? That's going to be a hot topic item tonight. I just know it.
Yes, it will, but again, it makes no sense.
You keep saying it makes no sense. You don't make sense when you keep saying it makes no sense.
Look, this is a video of a speech he gave
I don't have time for this.
Come, everyone who's been blessed by my Father, receive your inheritance. I say to you, when I was hungry, you fed me. When I was thirsty, you gave me something to drink. When I was a stranger, you invited me into your home. When I was in prison, you came and you visited me. And when I didn't have anything to wear, you gave me clothes.
When did we see you hungry or thirsty? When did we invite you in?
What I'm saying is when you helped the least of these, you were helping me.
What? What was that mindless jargon?
Exactly, sir. That is what I've been
No,
trying
I know
to
exactly
tell
what he's
you.
trying to say. That's all about opening the borders. I just know it. He wants to open the floodgates to this amazing country of ours, and I just like to see him try. Where did he go to school again?
Technically he didn't. He doesn't have any degree. He grew up in some sort of religious environment.
See, that's something we can use. If they try and spin anything on me out there, I'm going to turn it right back towards them. Quick, tell me all about his family. Go.
Yes. Okay, his father was a carpenter. His mother got pregnant before the two of them were married.
Aha. See right there. That's brilliant work right there. Get that out all to the newscasters. I want it blitzed all over social media. I hope we can get it to the moderator before we begin tonight, all right? Good work, Bill. Yes, sir.
It's Lawrence, actually.
Don't you sass stuff me, Larry. I don't give a flying hoot what your name is.
Okay,
You're not the first campaign manager I've fired on the spot, so take that.
Wait, what? What? Are you firing me? Sir! Sir!
Are the candidates ready?
Yes, Jesus just arrived.
What is his deal? He's barely making it on time.
He doesn't have a jet or a bus. They walk and hitchhike everywhere.
Really? What's that all about?
He preaches a message of provision, not by the hands of man, but by his father or something like that.
Wow. That guy is a weirdo.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I kind of find it interesting. I mean, I've worked here for 20 years and have very little to show for it, but a bunch of debt. I mean, he's talking about storing up your treasures not in this life, but in eternity. I mean, I don't know what it's about, but it sounds like a better life than this material one.
Camera 1, stand by. Camera 2, get ready to make your move.
Okay, Ellen, we'll be going with questions from Twitter as they come in, and I'll cue you when they're ready.
Got it. And how are we with audience questions?
They're not the greatest, but we have a few. I think we need to get through the first round, and then we'll go to our first audience question.
Okay, that sounds fine. Hey, I just got this text alert about Jesus' mom being pregnant before she was married. Have you seen this?
I wasn't sure if that would be relevant for tonight.
Okay, I don't know, but if we go into women's health care or the pro-life debate, that could come up.
Okay, I'll drop it in somewhere in the rundown, and I'll slide it around as it finds a place. Anything else?
Well, I do think we're a little light on Jesus questions, and I feel like we're pushing on the senator scandals more than Jesus.
Yeah, it's hard to find things on him. Plus, the governor is just going to stick to the issues, and I put money on the fact that she won't even point at the other candidates.
Yeah, I can't stand how squeaky clean she is. Good evening and welcome to the first presidential debate. I am Ellen Tate. This debate is sponsored by the Commission on Presidential Debates, a nonpartisan nonprofit organization. The commission drafted tonight's format and the rules have been agreed to by the campaigns. This will be a 20-minute debate broken up into 4 5-minute segments. I will ask each candidate the same lead-off question and they will have 2 minutes to answer. From that point on, it will be open discussion. I have come up with the questions. My team has also chosen a select number of questions via the audience and Twitter, and these questions have not been shared with the candidates. We also have asked the audience not to cheer or boo so that you can focus on what each candidate has to say, except for right now. Please welcome our 3 candidates for the highest office, Senator Elliott Carver, Governor Angela May, and Jesus.
Okay. It's good to see you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Senator Carver, Governor May, and Jesus, welcome. Let's get right to it. First topic, Secure America. So with big companies like Sony getting hacked, how do you plan on keeping America safe? Senator Carver, let's start with you.
First, I just want to say thank you, Mr. Allen, for being here tonight. It's great to be here. And I'd like to thank my fellow candidates for being here with me and all the people at home watching and for these great folks here in the auditorium tonight. Now for your question. We must police the internet. This is the new Border Patrol. We've been worried about our natural borders as threats for far too long. Worried about the illegals sneaking into this great country of ours. All the while, at the exact same time, our Gmails are being hacked right under our noses. If we, the government, would do their jobs and stop these outside hackers, our American citizens would be safe.
Governor May, same question to you.
Thank you, Ellen. I believe that policing the internet is encroaching on our American people in a way that we do not need to do. Elect me as your next president, and I will strengthen our foreign relations so that as a unified world, we can battle injustice.
Jesus, same question.
Have you heard the story of the Garden of Eden? My father gave Adam and Eve a choice. You can eat from any fruit in the garden except for one. If you eat from that fruit, you will surely die.
Wait a minute. I know this story. But God gave them that choice, not your father. I mean, we all know out there that your father's not the man your mother married, but are you actually saying that your father is actually God?
Senator, please let Jesus finish, and
Well,
then we'll open it up for
I think it's
discussion.
a pretty serious statement here, Eleanor, if that is what he's saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Senator, please continue, Jesus.
As the story goes, Adam and Eve chose wrong. They were tempted by the serpent, and they thought they would be like God, but instead their eyes were opened to everything wrong in the world. I think what's going to save this world isn't more laws, restrictions, or mandates, but it's a shift of perspective. Adam and Eve, they had all of the fruit in the garden to choose from, but instead they chose the one fruit that would separate them from God and stop the rest of mankind from tasting the garden.
I mean, is he done? I mean, not to go off the book here, but what is this, really? I mean, is this a serious candidate here? I mean, zero experience in politics, and he says delirious jargon just like this, right here and now.
No, I would agree that there is a perspective shift that does need to happen. Yeah. We don't need a bigger government. We need a more unified government.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Excuse me here. Oh, let me guess. Sticking to the issues, not the drama. Yeah, good job over there, Governor, but you have to at least agree there should be the two of us up here and not three.
Okay, let's move on to the next topic, American prosperity. If you're elected, how will you handle the minimum wage? Governor May.
Yes, there is too big of a gap between the upper class and the lower class. We need to be able to meet somewhere in the middle. So I would raise the minimum wage while putting more taxes on the upper class where it belongs.
Jesus, would you like to answer?
Have you ever wondered how the birds of the air get their food or the lilies get their clothes? I mean, doesn't my father take care of all these things? And how much more would he take care of us who are his children? We don't need any more than his provision. As long as we seek him first, then everything else will come to us.
What?
Thank you.
I guess that's an answer. I mean, I don't agree with Governor May's socialism agenda over there. My family worked hard building the Carver legacy. In this millennial generation, they need to understand what hard work is. If we give them handouts, what are they going to learn? Huh? So instead of putting forth a new minimum wage, we need to be building up our public schools and backing Common Core.
Yes, that is something the Senator and I can agree on. I do think that more attention needs to be given to our public school systems.
Thank you.
We need to be training and helping teachers in any way possible. We need to be training them all the way up to the college level.
Well, this brings up a good question on fiscal responsibility. Our students are faced with an all-time high in student loan debt. Is there provision for them?
No. I worked while going to college and I paid for it. Many Americans can do the same.
And yes, where did you work while going to college, Senator?
Carver Automotive, obviously.
So You worked at your daddy's shop. Does that mean that you worked off college or that your daddy paid for it?
Don't you even begin to start talking about my father. Let's not forget her daddy, second to this country, and still doesn't possess a green card.
Again with the drama. Back to the issues. Not everyone has a thriving business to grow up in.
Don't believe
There
her
are
lies.
so many people in low-income situations. I would like to see inner-city kids get an education, starting with a high school diploma, and the government can help.
All right. Jesus, do you have any comments before moving on to the next topic?
Oh, yes. Please do share with us another riddle, sir.
Senator.
I was trained by doing what I saw my father doing. David, before facing Goliath, was trained by watching over his father's sheep, by fighting off lions and bears. Actually, Senator, you kind of remind me of David, but more in your youth. Now you're a lot more like Saul.
Well, who is Saul? I mean, I dropped out of Catholic school.
Yeah, Saul was the king of Israel until he decided his own sacrifice was better than obeying God. So God rose up a king to replace him. Saul got jealous, and he decided to have David killed.
Well, so then Saul stayed king.
No, he fell on his sword and he died.
Ah, well, then that wasn't me.
Let's move on to the next topic, shall we? Taxes. What are some key points for your tax plan? Jesus, we're going to start with you.
Whose face is on your money?
Presidents?
Yeah, presidents of this nation. So, let's give to America what's America's and give to God what's God's.
Okay, Senator?
Well, I think it's time to stop taxing the rich and giving it to the poor. I mean, let's be honest here. Most low-income people don't even have to pay taxes. We need to lower taxes across the board. This country was founded on no taxation without representation. And we should continue with that motto. We should cut out the IRS and start by putting together a new tax plan.
A new tax plan.
Yes.
So, do you actually have a plan, or you just hope to get elected and kind of create your own plan?
I don't believe in being a one-man show, Missy. I plan to put together an incredible team that we can put together a comprehensive plan. It's going to be great.
Can we really vote in a president who clearly doesn't even have a plan? I mean, as simple as it may be, at least Jesus had something to say.
Thank you.
We, as a country, must come together even financially. I won't raise taxes, but we need to be able to move the money around to continue to allow education for all, to continue to allow health care for all. We must stand for the least of these.
She is a nasty woman.
Thank you. Now we will move on with our closing statements. Each candidate will have 1 minute. Senator Carver, we're going to start with you.
Ultimately, we need a stronger country, stronger government. I'm going to strengthen government and lower everyone's taxes. We need a system that works for the people and not for itself. Our military is weak right now, and we are the laughing stock in all the other nations. But not anymore. I will strengthen all branches to where this country will be feared once again. Jesus talks in riddles. I'm going to tell you straight what you need and how I can be there for you. Governor May wants socialism to spread across this country like a disease. I want to stand for the working man. If you've worked hard for your money, you should be allowed to keep it. Jesus tells you to give your money to America, to give it to God. Now God is taxing us. I say no. I'm going to let you keep it. Governor May wants you, the hard-working people of America, to give all your money to the lazy couch potatoes across the land. I say no again. I'm going to let you keep every penny and dime. So you get out there this November and you vote for yourself. You vote Carver. You can clap for me now.
Okay. All right. Governor May.
Thank you. Senator Carver has proven time and time again that he has no plan. He talks up strength and making America great, but we've heard people like him before, and what does this nation have to show for it? We need a plan of action to continue to move us forward as a country. We need to talk about the issues and stay away from the drama. Every week we're hearing about another one of the senator's scandals. Aren't we tired of hearing about the mess that he makes for himself? What kind of mess is he going to get this country into? And Jesus, he's nice and simple, but how does our country view nice and simple? How did Japan view it during the attack on Pearl Harbor? I'm afraid Jesus is the exact opposite of Senator Carver. What this country needs is a little bit of balance. This country needs a woman, one that can nurture and protect and discipline when necessary. We need Governor May.
Jesus, you have 1 minute.
Thanks, Ellen. I told 2 stories tonight. One was Adam and Eve, and the other was Saul and David. And I told those 2 stories for a reason. Adam and Eve, their story is one of broken relationships. Saul's is also about broken relationship, but his is one of finding relationship. This is not the sum of all life. No matter who wins or loses, it's not the beginning and it's not the end. Saul was made king by God because the people cried out for a king, but he didn't want to give them one. He wanted to be their king, and he knew if he made Saul king that he would ultimately fail, so he rose up another man to take his place. He gave the people David, and David lived a lifestyle that was a type and shadow of what he really wants for all of us. This is my closing statement. We are all called to relationship, not with a man or a woman, but with God. Let's not be like Adam and Eve. Let's make the right choice.
All right. Well, thanks to all of our candidates. Thank you again to all of our candidates. Thanks to our sponsor, the Commission for Presidential Debates. Thanks to all of you here for hosting us, and thank you to you at home for watching. Now, your job is to get out there and vote. It is your duty, your privilege, your right, and we hope that you will exercise it this election season. From all of us here, I am Ellen Tate. Have a good evening.
You did such a good job.
Well, that was the most interesting debate that we've seen.
It was. You could really tell that Jesus was getting under Senator Carver's skin.
That's something he's going to have to get over if he's going to progress anywhere through this campaign.
Governor May did a really great job standing up against both men. Let's go back to our reporter live. What seems to be the feeling out there after this exhilarating debate?
I think that some might still be confused on who they're going to vote for. I think that most would vote for Jesus if they were voting for a life coach or a best friend, but as president, they're unsure. Governor Angela May definitely came out on top of that debate, but Jesus really left people thinking. Maybe not about who to vote for, but about the way we've been living and our view on this election.
Especially that bit about kings in his closing statement. It almost felt as though he was saying, we don't need a president at all.
I think that is exactly what he was saying, that God is meant to govern us instead of the government. I'm guessing that's not going to go over too well in the polls.
Well, this has been our coverage of tonight's presidential debate. Thank you for joining us. Be sure to get out there and vote. Good night.
What was that? That was absolutely horrific. Who does this Jesus creature think he is?
Son of God, apparently.
Don't you sass-mouth me right now, Lewis. I am under extreme pressures here. I thought I fired you anyways.
You know, I was wondering about that myself. Should I go?
Well, actually, it looks like not many people showed up to work. So, I guess you're rehired. With a 10% pay cut, of course.
Oh, of course.
So, tell me, how bad was it?
Governor May is still in the lead.
Of course he is.
And Jesus just passed you up. You're behind by 2 points now.
How can that even be? All he does is speak in stories and riddles. He acts like he doesn't even want to be the president. I thought this mom story would catch more traction with him.
Sir, if we're unable to get any sort of momentum here, we may not survive the next debate.
Well, okay. The mom story didn't work. What else do we know about this guy? Find something quick.
Quicker. His cousin is known anarchist Johnny B.
Oh, who cares about that? I heard about him. He went to jail because he lacked the federal papers for his nonprofit. So what?
And he started up a prison outreach and stirred up enough trouble his cellmate killed him.
He's dead? I thought everything about him was positive.
Well, that's what the news reported. He was constantly causing problems with state officials, kind of like Jesus out there. He's pointing out corruption, telling people they don't need the government, and...
Yeah, so what?
So they killed him. Made it look like accident in a prison fight.
Wait a minute now. Yes.
Oh, you seem interested.
Yes. Maybe, if I can get Governor May persuaded that this Jesus character is actually bad news and dangerous, then maybe, and I mean just maybe,
Maybe. Sir, his team is always with him. And even with the lack of security, I've heard that he's just walked through hostile crowds that want him out of their town like he was invisible.
Well, this is why we need someone on the inside. Someone, a part of his group, who knows all the pressure points. That's what we need to find, see? You go find that. In fact, get me a meeting with Governor May immediately. I'm sure she'd love to know what this Jesus character's saying behind her back. Thank you for seeing me, Governor May.
Let's make this quick, Elliot. I have an election to win.
I assume you've seen the polls.
Yeah, and you're losing. You're about to get beat by the Riddler, too.
Just as long as you know that he's about to beat you.
Did you really bring me here just to tell jokes?
Oh, actually, I brought you in here to come up with a plan.
Oh, I made you look like a fool in front of America for that one. Would you like me to do it here in private as well? The senator who has no plan.
On the contrary, I do have a plan. I'd like to bring you in on the ground floor. You see, this Jesus character, he's tampering with the system. A system that's been organized in our country for hundreds of years. I really doubt you and I are going to stand here and let this man divide this great nation of ours, are we?
No!
You shut your mouth, Landon.
Elliot, these people run for office all the time. It's their right as an American citizen, but they never win.
I was assuming you were going to say something just like that, which is why we have some footage that you might find interesting.
I am the way, the truth, and the life. And no one can come to the Father except through me. So if you are my true followers, you must first learn to eat my flesh and drink my blood.
What? Dude, that's so weird. Come on.
Are you guys going to be offended like them and leave too?
We're not really sure about the mysteries you're speaking of, Jesus, but you hold the words of life.
That's my boy, Peter.
What is this?
This was provided by one of Jesus' own followers.
No.
A man by the name of Judas.
We've been hearing stories about the cultist nature of this Jesus and what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
Sounds like world domination to me. I think he's trying to spread his religion across our nation. In fact, all the nations of the world. If we don't do something, and do something quick, he could very well steal the presidency from us.
No.
Now, we've seen it in the past when the underdogs have won. And I doubt you want this to be one of those times. So what I suggest is that we come together and come up with a plan. Not for each other's good, but for the good of this great nation of ours. What do you say?
What do you have in mind?
Even as I know my Father, and my Father knows me, I'm giving my life on behalf of the sheep. But there are those sheep who are not of this fold, so I must bring them in, that they might know my voice and heed my call, so that there's one flock under one shepherd.
I mean, just listen to him. Listen to him and his mindless riddles. How does he gather such a crowd?
I think what he's saying is profound, really. He's speaking of unity, but not just those he's gathered here. I think he wants to gather others.
Snap out of it! Don't you be listening to his wooing words. This is the exact reason why we must stop him. But not here, my God. His crowds are slowly growing. I want you to go give that cell phone to that Judas creature and tell him we're going to call him at a later date. Yes, sir. Now do it, Lewis.
It's Lawrence.
The sheep that are my own hear my voice and listen to it. I know them, and they follow me. I give them eternal life, and they'll never lose it. And no one can snatch them out of my hand.
What is the next step? We're just right behind Governor Ray in the polls. There's got to be a way to bump Jesus up.
You act like this is a horse race, and all we need is a steroid shot or a little whip slap on the hip. This is a presidential race. We are trying to turn the hearts of the people to think differently than they've ever thought before.
The problem is Jesus is inconsistent with his message.
He is not.
Okay, not if you know his message. The thing is, he'll say something straightforward and then turn around and say one of his riddles or stories. That's why we're up and down in the polls.
At least we aren't doing as bad as Senator Carver.
Yeah. Jesus, what exactly is the goal? I mean, I know you don't want to be too traditional, but being too untraditional seems to be pushing away voters.
Yeah, I tend not to be traditional, but that doesn't mean I'm against tradition. Actually, I came to fulfill it so that you can move past it onto something bigger. You guys have all seen the things that I can do, but when I'm gone, you're gonna do bigger and greater things.
But when you're gone, you're running for president. We were expecting you to be here for at least the next 4 years.
Yeah, are we doing all this work for nothing? Are you even going to finish the race?
Where is your guys' faith? How many views and subscriptions do we have on YouTube? How many healings have we seen? How many followers come to our meetings and are on our Twitter? Haven't I said from the very beginning what I'm here to do? I'm here to do as my Father is doing. I'm here to say what he's speaking. I'm here to do my Father's work. You are all here to love him with all of your heart, mind, and soul and strength, and to love your neighbor as yourself.
Excuse me, Jesus?
Yeah.
I'm grateful for your message and what you've done during your time running for president. I wanted to buy this for you. I took my last paycheck and purchased this.
Wow. This is amazing. Thank you.
Why did you do that?
Mary, you know we're not taking donations.
Yeah, Mary. I wasn't very responsible. How are you going to pay rent or buy groceries?
Could have at least given your money to the poor.
Oh my gosh. Everybody just stop, okay? You're only seeing with your natural eyes. Judas, there's always going to be poor people around. Matthew, everything for you is just centered and focused around this election. But what you guys don't understand is she's preparing me for burial. Everywhere my message goes, she's going to be remembered.
Says Carver.
What can I do for you, Mr. Judas?
How much?
Excuse me now?
Look, I've been with this guy for the last 3 years. How much are you gonna give me to betray him?
Well, now I understand that he's probably a good friend of yours, and this must really break your heart to do this to him, but,
Okay, look, you're right. He's been getting a little off track. Just answer the question, how much?
Well, now let me see. What if you could pick out your own house and your own salary even? We could get you a top-paying job as a private contractor for the great U.S. of A. You'd never be in need again. How about that?
I'll text you the address.
One of you will betray me.
Well, how can that be? We've been with you for 3 years.
We have stayed with you when others have left.
It's the truth. Now, let's give thanks to the Father for everything that he's done for the last 3 years. Everybody take a piece. Now, let's give thanks for the forgiveness of sins and an open door into relationship with the Father. We're coming into a new covenant. This is the last time I'll drink before I see my Father.
Jesus, who's the greatest in heaven, and how can we achieve that?
Of course, Peter would be trying to be the greatest.
No, I'm just curious.
No.
You must first be like a child.
What?
See, being the greatest isn't for you.
Yeah, Peter. It is more of a John thing.
Why? Because he's more immature than me?
No, because he has the ability to listen and receive what I have to say without instantly rejecting it. Peter, you always come around, but your strong will and stubbornness is going to cause you to deny me.
I would not deny you. I would fight you.
Peter, you will deny me 3 times.
What about John?
What does it matter to you if he lives till my return?
Can we please not bicker like immature sons? Let's just come together in a unity of spirit.
tonight's the night.
What are you talking about, Jesus?
When the shepherd is struck, the flock will scatter. I know that your spirits are willing, but your flesh is weak. Just know this. I'll be with all of you, always.
Jesus, so good to see you.
So you betray me with a hug. Peter, you should know by now, those who live by the sword die by the sword. This was foretold to happen this way. I will be with you again.
Anyone found involved with this man Jesus and his treason will be arrested.
Hey, you were with that Jesus guy. They said he was planning terrorist attacks. Yeah, it was you.
That wasn't me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, you're Peter. Hey, didn't you used to run with Johnny B, but you run with Jesus now, right?
No, that wasn't me. You must have me mistaken for somebody else.
Here.
Is that him?
Yes, this is the guy. He was with Jesus.
I told you, I do not know the guy.
Man, what do you think they're gonna do to him?
Prison?
It matters what kind of threat they think he is.
Threat? How could I think he was a threat? His message was just love.
Yeah, but with pride and corruption, things get really twisted.
And where have you been?
Nowhere. It just took me a while to get back.
You all right, Peter?
He was right.
Right about what?
Thought I was strong. I thought I would stay with him to the end.
What happened, Peter?
I betrayed him, okay? Just like he said I would. I thought I was strong. I mean, I had the guts to cut some guy's ear off, but when confronted with the accusations of the crowd, I mean, they're calling him some sort of terrorist, an anarchist, and they're wanting to label anyone who ran with him as the same. Like, when confronted in the streets, I gave in to fear and shame, and he was right.
Okay, Peter, did he not teach us to confess to one another and pray for each other we might be healed? I mean, I can't say what we would do in your position, but we didn't have to come back here. You could have just ran.
I almost didn't come back.
You guys are so confused. This is not how it was supposed to happen.
I know it's a confusing time. We just have to wait on the Father like he did. We have to be strong. When one of us falls, we have to help each other back up. We just need to be waiting in prayer.
Yes, we should be praying. All Jesus ever talked about was relationship with the Father. I think the only thing that can help him or us right now is the Father.
Yes.
You had him killed?
Excuse me, Governor?
I just got word that Jesus' followers have buried their candidate. It's all over the news.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I assume you've seen my interview then. Giving my deepest condolences to the friends, family, and followers. It also just bumped me up a few notches in the polls.
You're a sick man.
Oh, don't you even begin to play Little Miss Innocent with me. You are perfectly aware of the transgressions here. Now, if you want to stick your head in the sand of the gory details, go ahead. But let's just say that ignorance isn't bliss, especially when it comes to the court of law.
No.
Your little vision of becoming the president would be ending. And all of your little good deeds of the past would be quickly forgotten.
What did I do?
You've done a good thing, and you're about to do an even greater thing. Let me tell you that.
No matter what you have planned next, this will not get you into the White House.
On the contrary, yes it does. You see, my plan is that since the nation's all confused about the death of Jesus, what better way to show them than our two parties uniting together? We are about to announce that I will be your vice president if you are elected, which of course will happen unanimously because you're now running unopposed.
No, I won't do this. You have a sick mind, you know that? You too. This might be unity on the surface, but underneath it all, you would just be the puppet master, and I won't be your puppet.
Actually, yes you will, and you already are, because you are now a co-conspirator in the murder of Jesus.
By giving me up, you'd be condemning yourself.
Now at least you understand how bad I want to win. But fear not, because in the public's eye, they'll have old Vice President Carver right by your side.
What happened?
Don't be afraid. He has risen.
What? Who has?
Jesus. He was dead, but now he's alive. Look, his grave is empty.
Where's he gone?
I'm right here.
This is amazing. How can this be?
Go, and hurry and tell the others.
But I don't want to leave you.
It's okay. You can trust me. I'll be there shortly.
We now see Governor May and Senator Carver taking the stage in their landslide victory. They have really joined the country together in the wake of Jesus' death. President-elect May is about to take the podium where she will give her victory speech.
In light of these tragic circumstances, we need to come together as one body, one government, one party. I've always said that I want it to be about the issues and not the drama. So we are going to move past this as a country. I am so happy to have Vice President-elect Carver by my side through this next season. We have decided to put a plaque in a special place in the White House in honor of Jesus and his friends and his family. Now, we have a lot of work to do.
I'll turn that off.
First, I'm going to start.
You guys, we had a plan. It should have worked. Why didn't it work? Was Jesus ever even in it to win it in the first place?
Really? You're gonna criticize him when he's dead?
I mean, I don't know what I mean.
We miss him. We thought he was going to be the answer, the one to solve all the issues in this nation and in our lives.
Well, he was. I truly believe he held the words of life.
Yeah? This coming from the man who denied him.
What do you know, Thomas? You didn't even believe in this thing from the beginning.
Honestly, even though he never talked about government or the nation, he was talking about relationship.
Yeah, he talked about relationship with God and with others.
Yeah, I feel like I messed up my relationship with him.
Okay, but you haven't. We've all just been so focused on this election, we barely heard the words of wisdom he was constantly telling us. As weird as it may sound, he knew all this was going to happen. And when Mary brought him that suit, he said it was to prepare him for burial, and then we buried him in that suit. And when you cut that guy's ear off, he said this was all foretold. I don't know what's going to happen. We just need to wait for a sign or some sort of direction.
Listen up, everyone. I just came from his burial place. It was empty.
Well, that was fast.
All right, Mary, enough of your jokes, all right?
Mary, we're mourning.
Well, stop it then. There is nothing to mourn. There was an angel at his grave, and he told me he had risen from the dead.
Are you being serious?
Yes, I saw it with my own eyes that the grave was empty. Then when I turned around, he stood there.
Wait, who?
Jesus.
I doubt that.
Stop it with your unbelief. He told me to go ahead and tell you all that he's coming to meet with you one last time.
I don't believe that.
I don't have unbelief, okay? I just need to know that if what you say is true, I need to see it with my own eyes and touch him with my own hands.
Then come here and give me a hug.
Oh. Jesus!
It is you.
Yeah, but blessed is the man who believes without seeing.
Oh my God, it really is you. This is perfect.
I think we need to call the press. The Electoral College might change their decision after seeing it.
No, I'm only gonna be here for a short time, and then I have to be with my Father in heaven.
Wait, you just got here. You were dead, now you're alive, and you're leaving again?
Yes, but it's better this way, because another can come.
Another?
Yes, a comforter, a counselor. Listen, you guys, stay here in the city, and when I go to be with my Father, I'm gonna send my spirit to live inside of you.
You know how crazy that one sounds?
Yeah, good thing he wasn't leading with that at the debate.
Now go out into all the earth and preach the good news that those who trust and rely on me won't taste death. And these signs are going to follow those who believe. They'll cast out demons in my name. They'll raise the dead. They'll speak in new tongues. And when you lay your hands on the sick, they will be healed.
Wow.
shine to the
Okay, so we were told to wait here in the city until the Holy Spirit comes and leads us beyond what Jesus taught us.
Yeah, to connect us with Jesus who sits at the right hand of his Father up in heaven.
Wonder what that's going to look like.
I don't know.
There's nothing worth more that will ever come close. Nothing can compare. You're our living hope. Your presence I've tasted and seen of the sweetest of loves, where my heart becomes free and my shame is undone. And your presence, Lord, Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God, is what our hearts long for.
Please help me.
Well, I don't have any money, but what I do have, I give to you in the name of Jesus Christ.
I can see! I can see!
Be filled with the Holy Spirit. Oh my goodness.
There's nothing worth more that will ever come close. Nothing can compare. You are living hope. Your presence
These people are not drunk as you suppose. This is the fulfillment of prophecy, that God would pour out his Spirit on all mankind, that your sons and daughters would prophesy, that young men would see visions and old men would dream dreams, and all those who called upon the name of the Lord would be saved. This is why Jesus came, doing good and healing all those oppressed of the devil, that those who put their faith in him and not in a political system would receive his Spirit. Now freely we receive, now freely we give. Now go, heal the sick, cleanse cancer, cast out devils, and raise the dead.